The gods of Olympus did not merely rule the world, they sustained it with fire and earth. For 3 millennia, 5 culinary pillars have withstood the erosion of empires and the chaos of war. Tonight, we dissect them, layer by layer, flame by flame. We begin with the moussaka. Do not mistake this for a simple casserole. It is an architectural marvel. You start with eggplant, sliced to a precise ½ inch. Salt them, let them weep away their bitterness, then roast until they glow like polished bronze. The foundation is a rich ground lamb, never beef, simmered with onions, crushed tomatoes, a singular stick of cinnamon, and a whisper of allspice. The crown is the bechamel, a temperamental velvet of butter, flour, and warm milk, finished with egg yolk and sharp kefalotyra cheese. Stack them, eggplant, meat, repeat, then drown the summit in that thick, creamy custard. Bake until it stands as firm and proud as a temple column. This is not just a dish. It is a structure of divine order, built to last as long as the stones of the Parthenon itself. Now we turn to the flame. Souvlaki. This is the heartbeat of the Athenian street, a sharp departure from the measured pace of the kitchen. Cube the pork into 1-inch segments so they kiss the fire with equal intensity. The marinade is a brutal lesson in restraint. Extra virgin olive oil, fresh lemon juice, crushed garlic, and dried oregano rubbed between your palms to wake the oils. No sugar, no shortcuts. Thread them onto flat metal skewers, leaving a sliver of space for the air to dance between the meat. When they hit the charcoal, the fat renders and the smoke creates a primal crust. The heat is immediate. It is aggressive. You watch the edges char while the center remains succulent. Finish with a sharp squeeze of lemon to cut through the richness. Serve in warm pita. The juice running down your wrist is the only seal of authenticity. This is not a dish for the table. It is a primal connection to the ancient element of fire, consumed standing in the open air, where the smoke is the only spice you truly need. From the roar of the fire, we move to the quiet, surgical precision of the spanakopita. This is a golden trap of deceptive simplicity. You begin with 2 pounds of spinach, wilted and wrung dry. Every drop of moisture must be banished, or the structure fails. You mix the greens with crumbled feta, fresh dill, and sharp scallions. Now, the tension rises. The phyllo is the test. It is thinner than parchment, a sheet of silk that demands absolute focus. You brush each layer with butter, a rhythmic, repetitive motion that requires a steady hand. Fold the filling into tight, sealed triangles. If you hesitate, the dough tears. If you press too hard, the form collapses. You layer them with the care of a master mason. Into the oven they go. The heat transforms the butter and flour, hardening the exterior into a fragile shell. You watch the color shift from pale ivory to deep, burnished gold. It is a slow, quiet transformation. Bake until the pastry reaches its limit, until the slightest touch will cause it to shatter into 1,000 golden shards. It is a masterpiece of tension, held together by nothing more than heat and discipline. For the 4th masterpiece, we move from the fragile to the formidable, Pastitsio. This is a Sunday dinner heavyweight, a dish that demands respect for its sheer mass. You boil hollow, sturdy noodles until they reach the edge of surrender, then bind them with egg so they hold their form under pressure. The meat sauce is a concentrated labor of fire and patience. You simmer ground meat with deep red wine, aromatic cinnamon, and crushed tomatoes until the liquid vanishes into a dark, savory paste. Layering is an architectural act. First, the pasta foundation, then a thick, consistent wall of meat. Finally, you crown it with a velvet bechamel, a custard so thick it stands firm against the heat. You bake it until the summit glows. But the true test is not the oven, it is the silence that follows. You must let it rest for 20 minutes. If you cut too soon, the layers bleed. If you wait, the heat settles, the custard firms, and you achieve the ultimate prize, a perfectly clean, architectural slice. It sits on the plate, a cross-section of structural perfection, revealing the distinct, unwavering lines of a dish built to endure. Finally, the baklava, the sweet finale. You chop walnuts into a rough, uneven texture, tossing them with sugar, cinnamon, and a sharp pinch of clove. Build the foundation with 10 sheets of buttered phyllo, alternating each layer with the nut mixture. This is the moment of precision. Before it enters the heat, you must score deep diamond patterns into the surface. Do not hesitate. If the pastry turns brittle in the oven, that geometry is lost forever. Bake until the edges ignite into a deep dark amber. As it pulls from the heat, you bathe the structure in a cool syrup of honey, lemon, and cinnamon. Watch as the liquid vanishes into every golden crevice, the heat of the pastry meeting the chill of the honey. It requires hours of patience. You let it rest until the sweetness permeates the core. These are not merely recipes. They are 3,000 years of respect for the land, the labor of the hands, and the sanctity of the table. 5 legends, one singular, enduring legacy. The history of a culture, preserved in flavor, standing firm for another 3 millennia.